Okay, everybody, this is the Sports Inquirer Emar Selpertut, and we're happy to be joined for the first time by Georgia State women's tennis player Andreea Stanescu. And we will get into her name and the uniqueness of that and just her culture. But thank you for joining us, Andrea. And the team has been off to a very solid start, and you individually as well. But let's start with the team overall. Lost the first three matches, but now you're on a five-match winning streak. What's
Yes.
been the difference over the past few weeks?
Since the beginning, we've been working very hard, and since the fall, actually, since the preseason, in Florida, we played a couple of good matches. We were still there despite the score. Again, we had a couple of injuries we were dealing with, and being able to overcome them little by little, working every day harder and harder. Even after those matches, for us, were not really a loss. We're also an improvement. So small steps, for this year, our word is rebuild, and that's what we've been doing every single day, and that's what brought us success so far.
You mentioned the rebuild. That includes a new coach, and with Hannah, how has that been for you as a senior, an upperclassman? You adjusting to her, and then your other teammates, maybe your younger players, and getting acclimated to Coach Hannah's processes.
For me, it was very easy, and I think for all of the girls, she's been really good to our program. Her and the assistant coach, we've had no problems accommodating. She's super easygoing. She's pretty firm on her decisions, and we confide in her. We have confidence, and so far, none of that has been disappointing.
Yeah, and what's been the difference this year as well? You've already surpassed your win total from 2011 in this 2022 campaign. Besides the new head coach and maybe a turnover of players, what's been the biggest difference this year for the team to have so much early success?
You know, uh, I've been happy to tell you if I knew exactly the answer, but I just think that the game with Mercer for us was crucial in winning that game. It was very very tight. Our number six, Ellie Aldrich, clinched in a 7-6 third set, very tight, and just having a win for us meant a lot. And after that game, we just got better and better. We believed in us. We were like, okay, we still lost the doubles point there, but we could manage to win it, and that's how gave us confidence, especially the younger girls in our team. They were really confident after that game, so for us it was like a good start of that rebuilding word that I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah, and also note of what the past 2 years have been like for us in the world with the pandemic, but it's really altered your seasons, especially the spring season when it first hit and had that canceled. And last year was really unique. What about this year? You're able to get some fall competition in, I believe, able to get a full preseason camp before the start of the spring season. Has that made a difference too? Just some normality, relatively
Yes,
speaking?
definitely the last 2 years, and especially when the year of COVID hit, just kind of that abruptly season ending for us was a very big loss, and was very affected me, and I think the girls as well. We were kind of lost there. We didn't know what happened. Last year we started playing a little bit more, but it was still weird coming back. With all the requirements and the restrictions still in the world. And definitely this year having a little bit more freedom, people being a little bit more relaxed, that also help us mentally to relax a little bit more and just play our game.
Yeah, and were you also able to get more time on the court, just training wise, or against yourself, or maybe some other Atlanta talent, just to get your game sharpened for this season that we're in right now?
We definitely played in the preseason. We definitely played a lot more. I had an injury I had to deal with, so at some point I stopped. But the girls, and compared to last year, because obviously I was there, I was at practices and stuff. Obviously it was a lot more tennis time for us overall than in the previous season with the COVID and everything else. So definitely that practice helped us a lot. We practice specific stuff for each other. We practice doubles a lot, doubles pairs. We mix it up a little bit there. We try to find our partners. Um, and we have a solid lineup right now, and we have been doing good so far.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the doubles side of things. What makes a good partner for you? How do you work on that chemistry? Do you just play with everybody during practice, see how things are? Do you prefer to have someone from beginning in February that you're going to play all the way through the season with? How do you handle the doubles part of your game?
For me, I don't have a particular doubles player. For me, communication is big. So as long as I can communicate with my doubles partner, and after working a lot of doubles together, I have no problem playing doubles with anyone. I have been playing doubles with the other Romanian, Eva, and now I switched a little bit with Ellie. But I mean, so far so good for me. I'm not very picky with that. So whatever coach says, uh, I trust her. I trust that she's taking the right call, and so far, again, has been good for me.
Yeah, you mentioned coming working through an injury in preseason. How are you holding up physically? You've done very well so far in singles competition, but how is that not having that extra player on the court and having to work through your injuries as a singles player?
Yeah, it hasn't been easy, especially at the beginning. I was struggling a little bit. I wasn't where I wanted to be. But again, I love tennis. I wanted to be here. I wanted to play this senior year, and I did everything that was in my power and in my control to come back, and that's what happened. And so far, I have been holding, and I'm trying to do so, trying to go to rehab every single day and get better and better. Weight training as well, fitness. So for me, it's big. Injury prevention is big this year, so I'm trying to stay healthy throughout the season.
Yeah, and this is your senior year. How's it been for you? You've had a lot of happenings in your career over the past few years. How does it feel now to be in your senior campaign now, competing for the Panthers and leading them to such a good start to the year?
It feels great. Honestly, I'm really proud to be here. I'm really proud to represent the school. I have a great group of girls here, coaches. So I cannot be more happy right now. I'm in a really happy place.
Yeah, and let's get to the flag. We see the Romanian flag in the background, and your career has spanned you starting off in Europe and coming here to Atlanta. What was the inspiration for that? I saw the video of you as a I guess talking to the younger player and your path and your journey. But elaborate on why Georgia State and why did you come to the United States? I'm sure you could have stayed in Europe and pursued some other options there, but what was that process like for you?
Yeah, I always wanted to come to the US, since my fifth grade. That was my dream. I cannot explain what was in my head right now, right then. But I took that choice and I stick with it. I work hard for it. And why Georgia State? I mean, it was a little bit of an unexpected decision for me. That coach at the time came to visit. I didn't know. I was actually surprised. I was coming from a day full of school, and senior year coming up in high school. A lot of school at that time for me. And I was surprised. I was just going to practice like another day at practice, and my coach at that time said someone from college, D1, came to see you, and I was like, okay. Thank you for the heads up. And it's just kind of been a click. We discussed after. She liked me. She offered me on the spot. I looked a little bit up the school. I saw it's in a city. I saw a little bit of downtown. I researched a little bit about it with my mom, and uh, it kind of clicked. I always trust my instincts, and I always follow my heart. And it was just Georgia State for me, and I don't regret that decision. I would do it again.
Yeah, what was it like moving here 4 years ago? What was some of the differences? Was the language? Was it culture? Being away from your mother and your brother? What was that like being a freshman 4 years ago, coming here to Atlanta?
Yeah, it was a very different. Culture is a lot different than where I come from. Language was not necessarily a barrier for me. I always loved English, and I learned it since I was a little kid. But culture was definitely culture, and food were two things that I struggled with. Food, I miss my mom's food, of course, and I miss my family. But I mean, you have to take some sacrifices, and I knew that. I was well aware of it, and so again, I'm not regretting this decision. It comes
Yeah,
with a job.
well, you're a college. It's a job. I like that.
Yes.
But also, I was just reading that you've been able to explore the city and find some popular places to go. Did that help too? Just finding some parks and I'm sure you play tennis tennis seems like a very social sport as well. You can play people of all ages and backgrounds. Does that help as well, just being in a sport like tennis to acclimate yourself to the city?
Absolutely. Tennis has been big here. I created a lot of connections through tennis, through volunteer events we have with the team. And yes, I like to travel. I don't like to stay too much in one spot. I like to explore outside. Belline has been great for me. I also love coffee, so Atlanta is pretty good with doing coffee here, especially close to European coffee, which I love. So I'm always trying to get my mind off of things here and then. With girls, and we go for a coffee, we talk, it's good, it's really good.
Yeah, and now you're going to face Kennesaw State this upcoming weekend. As we're recording, you only have, I think, three more non-conference matches before you get to Sun Belt play. Where do you think the team is right now? Do you think you're getting better and getting ready for a conference season in a good way?
Absolutely. I think we are on a good path. We're just working every day in practice, everywhere we go, lift, practice, fitness. We're just trying to get better, and we focus on specific stuff right now. Specific practices, getting better. The things that we don't have that much confidence in, and that's been big for us. Every single day we get better, and the atmosphere is great. It's a great environment. When we go to practice, everyone is more relaxed. Everyone is more confident. We give confidence to each other. We believe in ourselves, and I think that has been huge for us in this matches that we had, and in these wins, and we continue to build every single day on that. We don't settle. Every single day we are taking it one day at a time, and that's what has been Burr's success so far.
Yeah, well, and on this, what do you work on specifically? Is it camaraderie or building with your doubles partner? Is it today's going to be a serving day or a volley day, or I'm just going to focus on backhands? How does that, when you say specific things, does it get that specific, or do you drills? How do you what goes into preparing for these matches?
Yes, we have days that we work on doubles, so we partner up and we have specific drills. We work on specific stuff that each doubles pair has to work on, and then there are other days that we work individually on stuff. To give you an example, I asked my coach to do some slices coming off, and I was working a lot on slices. I was working a lot of coming in off on a short shot, and building up that point. So yeah, we have specific practices, especially now coming up in coming for the Sunbelt matches, which we're preparing for essentially.
Do you think practices are better now as a senior? Do you kind of know what to expect, and do you kind of help the younger players or to sharpen up the practice, be more efficient, because you've been doing this for a few years?
Definitely being a senior has its perks. It's more comfortable for me. I know what to expect, and I'm confident now coming up in my fourth year. So yeah, that definitely helps, and the team as a whole, I think everyone knows what they're doing, and they're working on stuff individually. But again, we come up as a team, so that's what has been the major bond for us.
Well, Andrea, thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate it, and hopefully we can catch up later on in the season.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for inviting me.